this is a very important discussion regarding how to attempt your taxation paper. So at inter level, taxation is the most complex paper in terms of attempting it. The reason being, one, you have two sections. So you have to context switch between GST and income tax. And second, there is one particular question which is super long. Normally it takes a lot of attention for you to go ahead and observe all the facts and figures given in this. So that way it will be mentally training, and the paper is lengthy and you have to switch between question 1 and then choosing the shorter questions and then choosing MCQs, within MCQs, case study based and regular MCQs. So there is a lot of load in general. So we are looking at a strategic and systematic way to approach this. First, I think it depends on the student which is more comfortable for them. For some of you it's GST, for some of you it's income tax. Now in the current scenario, let's say this is for Kushal, who is more comfortable with income tax. So you wanted to start the exam paper with question number 4 or 3 or 2. So when you're getting the question paper, first thing you should do is, if you are comfortable with income tax, directly go to question number 4. Okay? Directly jump to question number 4. Don't look at question number 1 and don't look at GST. Jump to question number 4. In question number 4, most likely it will be 6 plus 4 or 5 plus 5. So look at what exactly is being asked directly. Spend some time, because since you have to make multiple choices, directly go through the question number 4. You don't have to go back and check other questions. Spend 2-3 minutes in understanding what you know, what you don't know, and if possible write an appropriate score out of 6. Can you score 2, 3, 4, whatever it is? Then go to the next question. If there is a sub choice, just do it. So process question number 4. Then move to question number 3. Okay, once it is done, in 2-3 minutes, move to question number 3 and check how much you will be able to score. Here, see, in the previous papers, we put in effort to decide which question to write. Here we don't have to do that. Directly process the question and see how much you can score. So 2-3 minutes here. If you think you don't know, then move on to the previous question automatically. Right? So question number 4, 2-3 minutes. It's out of 15 minutes. Question number 4, let's say 3 minutes. Question number 3, 3 minutes. And then question number 2, if it's not required, you need only 2 minutes. So 7 to 8 minutes for processing questions of taxation. Since you decided to go with question number 1 also, if you have time, use this 50 minutes entirely for direct tax. We'll look at GST differently. Now this is counterintuitive to what you might believe, thinking that you have to process all the questions, because let's handle one thing at a time. How do we get maximum mark in the 15 marks? Okay, it makes sense for you to go and look at the adjustments of question number 1. So in that case, the first 15 minutes you are using it to make sure you answer these 2 questions here plus first question with an objective to cross 20 plus out of 35. Okay, the first 15 minutes you are allocating to this 35 marks to improve or maximize your score and increase your speed. Is it clear, Kushal? Can we do this?
Yes.
Do not worry about GST in the first 15 minutes. It's none of your business. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Sarthak, you are comfortable in GST?
Yes.
Exact same. Directly jump to question number 8. Like when you get the paper, move to question number 8, Sida. Within this, if there is a sub choice, decide. Don't even leave it. Just decide which you are answering and write some, create some mental framework or write some key pointers and understand how many you can be able to score. Next, move to question number 7 and then question number 6. In 6 to 7 minutes, you should be able to know which 2 questions you are answering and how much you will be able to score. Because in taxation, nothing is like you know what you don't know. Everything is aadha. So that way you have to take a decision based on the scoreability. Let's say question number 8, you can score, let's say 6. Question number 7, you can score 4. Question number 6, you can score 5 out of 10. That's it. So this is exactly how you take a decision. In the format of the question, 5 plus 5 is one format, 4 plus 6, 2 plus 4 plus 4. So depending on, because generally if it's a 2 marker, normally there is a good chance that it is easy, and 4 markers are also comparatively easy. So let's say out of 2 you get 1 here, let's say 2 here, 2 here, the total is 5. Now when you look at 4 plus 6, if you don't know 4 at all completely, out of 6, no matter how much you write, you will get 3 to 4. So in that case, answering more smaller questions is better. Or if all the 3 questions you don't know, it's better to go with at least 1 question which you know fully, so that you can score probably 4 here and 1 here. So you have to pay attention to this, guys. This segment, 5 plus 5, 6 plus 4, 2 plus 4 plus 4, whatever format it is. What is the potential scoreability? Every mark counts. Okay. So based on that, you should look at 2 questions. And once you are done, go with question number 5. So you are using the first one now directly for processing 2 questions in GST and the compulsory question, which is question number 5. So at 3 o'clock, both of you have attempted 35. Completely, it should be done dusted. Do not drag even by a minute. It is more than enough. Okay. So 2 10-mark questions and 1 15-mark question, and you're also having 15 minutes. Please understand. So you're having 75 minutes to attempt 35 marks. This is disproportionate. The reason why we are giving extra time is in the first 1 hour you will have to deal with a lot of mental stress. So that is the right. You're using the 15-minute bonus to process separately and write separately. Processing and presentation. 15 minutes of processing, 60 minutes of presentation. Once you are done, you are completely done and dusted with the entire taxation part, okay, or GST part in terms of descriptive. Then this is the tricky part. Some of you might be preferring to move to the other component, which is taxation, which is what Sarthak wants to do, right? Because you want to get your mind space completely focused on the descriptive, then move on to that. This is what you do. So if you are comfortable with descriptive, if your MCQ accuracy is not great, this is also fine. Similarly, when you go and start with this, spend 10 minutes for question processing. 15 minutes is not required. Just decide which 2 questions you are attempting between these. Okay. So first, this is important step. Do not process question number 5 directly here. Only spend 10 minutes. Don't start writing directly. Spend 10 minutes for the first 15 minutes in deciding question 4, 3 to which you are writing and how much you will be able to score. That is done. Once you answer these 2 questions, then you can directly go and attempt question number 4 because it is compulsory. There is no decision which to take. That is the reason why we are not having separate processing time. Are things clear until now? Sarthak, can you repeat what you will do?
Like first in 1 hour we need to attempt for 35 marks. That too crossing around 28 marks. And next 3 to 4 we need to allocate 10 minutes for crossing the question.
Yes.
And next we need to attempt the 2 questions which are easy in that, and last question number 1.
Done.
Extra.
Done. So in your case, by 4 p.m. your denominator is 70. Your numerator you are expecting 35 out of 70. Right? You are not touched MCQs yet. Done. I'm coming back to you. Now at 3 o'clock, you believe since MCQs has 2 components. One is your regular MCQs, which are up to 12 marks, which are straightforward, and case-based scenario. 1 hour if you sit on MCQs, you are expecting a score of 16 marks because it's all about the numerator base. Here out of 35 scoring 20 plus, here you can score 18, 16 to 18 with an anticipation that out of the 65 marks, you should be getting closer to 35 at least. So Kushal is deciding to take MCQs in the second hour where you want to finish all the MCQs, both DT and GST. And then third hour, you are moving into this. Now you follow the same strategy. When you are moving to third hour, first 10 minutes, you are investing in question processing. That too, 2 questions. You look at 3 questions, choose 2 questions, and question processing. Then attempt. Because what will happen is, once you start writing on the paper, your brain thinks in the same way. You are not setting the direction. Before you start the car, you stop and put the maps, right? You put the maps, then click start, then navigate. Once you start the car, once you go in a particular direction, you cannot deviate in between. The U-turns are very long and I would say traffic infested. So that is the reason why before you start, you have to do this. Is clear? And finally, when you get into the last 1 hour, GST, you think it is not your core strong area. So you are humbly trying to maximize your score in this. Let's say there are scenarios where all 3 questions might be very difficult. Then probably you can start with this. See, this is just a rough blueprint so that the number of decisions which you have to take on a real-time basis is reduced. It's not that you have to stick to this. Again, it doesn't happen according to the script. It largely depends on the paper and your state of mind. But this will give you an insight of how we are going to approach. Okay, in the last 60 seconds I'm summarizing. Number 1, we are handling only 1 hour at a time. Very clear segregation. What is 1 hour? 35 marks for DT descriptive, 35 marks for GST descriptive, and 30 marks for MCQ. 1 hour for MCQ, 1 hour for descriptive GST, 1 hour for descriptive DT. Now, in each hour, the target is to score 16 to 18 minimum, which gets us 16 into 3, right? MCQ 16 marks, this out of 35 at least 16, at least 16. So, which makes it very clear that even one part is very difficult. मान लो कि for GST is extremely difficult. Out of 35, you can only score 10. Still, you can rely on getting 20 in taxation, 16 in MCQ, 20 plus 16 is 36. If GST is completely gone, even if you don't know one question, get 6 more, survive, cross 45. You understand? So, tax is very tricky, but it has a unique advantage because one section you get it right, you'll clear. And leaving even one question is a crime. Attempt 100 marks for sure. The whole idea of this is 100 marks for sure. So rough deadlines, 1 hour for 35 marks of DT, 1 hour for 35 marks of GST and 1 hour for MCQ. Stick to this. You can change the order here and there, but stick to this. Don't mix and match and get things clumsy. Okay, this is about the general pattern. Now, in extreme scenario, where the paper is too difficult, where you believe that this is not your paper, you will be confused as if it is a final paper, not your inter paper. In that case, let's handle question wise. Again, this is a very emergency. It's like regular stakes are there, but there will be a hammer stake that this is the emergency except break the glass and jump. So when an emergency situation arises, you will understand in the first paper. If that arises, it's all about grabbing 5 marks here and there. Then all of these rules may not work, but that situation won't arise normally. But hold this together maximum possible. Then once you build a base, let's say once you build a base for at least for the first 70 hours, then you can look at loosely. Okay, question 4A or question 8A, question 6B. Then you can start grabbing in the last hour. I hope I have told you both the scenarios. Don't get concentrated in a particular approach. Please be open about it and please be ready. And your paper is going to be extremely stressful for sure because of the nature of how the paper has been designed. Is this clear, both of you?
Yes.
Are we good to go?
Yes.
Okay, hope this is helpful. Please watch it in a single stretch with complete attention. If you don't understand, please watch it once again and all the very best. Thank you.